Hi everybody, it's Lauren Brown, also known as Raggedy Royal on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and now YouTube. And today we're going to be doing this great brown look. I don't know what I named it yet. I usually let the rag dolls, when it's a look like this, I usually let the rag dolls name it. I'll probably put it on my story and ask what I should call this look. So if you want to be part of our, Raggedy Republic, the democracy, follow me on Instagram where we make a lot of decisions. But I'm going to be doing this matte brown look. I'm doing a full face. I haven't done a full face in forever. I usually do eyes or lips. I've been breaking it down for my makeup foundations playlist, which is for beginners and everybody who wants to learn how to do certain things. So I've been doing smaller bite-sized videos just to help with the basics. But today, we're doing a full face from start to finish. And yes, thank you so much we're almost at 40,000 subscribers. We're at like 39.6. So thank you so much for that. Take a second, make sure you subscribe down below. Most of my viewers are not subscribed. So just check it out. Just check it out and see. Just check it out. And we're gonna get right into the video. I have nothing on my face except for moisturizer and my brows. I have a how I do my fluffy brow tutorial. It'll come up in the cards. I recently shaved them uneven, and you didn't need to see me figure that out. I'm starting out with honesty, okay? So first, we're gonna prime our face. So I'm gonna be using the Milani Skin Quench Hydrating Primer. And even though this face will be matte, I always like to start off with a hydrating primer. My skin type is normal, but it leans more dry, like it's normal to dry. So I always use hydrating primers. Also, I just feel like the juicy skin is always a great place to start. Like if you mattify or not, it's always a great place to start. I'm gonna be using a Beige Studio Pro to blend that out. And I put it on the back of my hand, then just disperse it per the always. I never really squeeze anything onto my face. I know some people do that, but I feel like some people do that just for clickbait. Because I'm like, I don't think that this is like the most efficient. Like, it's not the most efficient way to apply it. It's not the most efficient way to like get your money's worth of the product. I don't know why people do that. It does look kind of interesting in videos though, so maybe that's why, but it's not me. Okay, I'm gonna blend that out quickly because it's clear. We're just trying to make sure it gets all over the place. You don't need precision yet. Actually, this is not a very precise tutorial. Anyways, so I'm going to be using the E.L.F. Liquid Glow Filter next. So this product, I don't really know what this product is. It's like not a primer, not a foundation, not a tinted moisturizer. It's just a liquid filter. Like it's literally a liquid filter. Now I do put this right on my face because it has this big old dome thing. And it would just take way too long to put it on the back of my hand and get enough to like disperse it. Yeah, it literally is just like a liquid filter. Like, it's the Paris filter in a bottle. And this is shade 4. Medium. That's usually where I always fall. Medium, golden beige, something beige, sand. That's usually where my foundation shades are. Beige, sand, and medium. Alright. Boom. You see what I mean? It's like, it's a liquid filter. I don't know. It's a great middle step, right? So usually I say do your eyes before your face because fallout happens, right? So what is fallout? Where you do your eyeshadow and the eyeshadow falls to the bottom. You see like the little crumbs, the little powder on the bottom, and it can be a mess depending on the color eyeshadow that you use to blend that out. However, today we're going to be using a brown bronzer as our eyeshadow, which we'll be incorporating all over the face. So if it has fallout, which it's not going to have too much, it's going to work because we're blending it all throughout the face. So today we're going to do our face, then our eyes. So, time for foundation. I'm going to be using a mix per the usual. I'm going to be using the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer in 4W1 Tawny. And Your Face Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. And this is in shade Warm Beige. Told y'all, beige. Alright, so I'm going to put it on the back of my hands. And the reason why I use 2 is because the foundation is a little bit off in color. The tinted moisturizer is a little bit too light in color, right? Walk with me. The tinted moisturizer is more lightweight. It is not high coverage at all. And the foundation, of course, is medium to full coverage. And it's much more coverage than just the tinted moisturizer. I need a mix, right? I don't like too much full coverage because I don't need too much full coverage. And it just, I've never liked it. So I've always used BB cream, CC cream, tinted moisturizers. But with my eyes as powerful as I usually do them, and for longevity of my makeup, I like the foundation. Because tinted moisturizer is for like the clean girl look. And after about an hour, it's gonna be clean, all right. Like it's not gonna have that same power. Also, when I do contour, blush, and concealer, I like to give it a strong base to blend on top of. I mellow it out with the tinted moisturizer, so I mix it like a dollop of this, a dollop of this, and that's how I get my foundation. And I'm going to be using a Real Techniques Instapop cheek brush. And I'm going to blend that in. Just kidding. I'm going to be taking this Real Techniques bluffing brush, this foundation brush. And the reason why is because I feel like this brush is too wet. Maybe because I used it last night. But I feel like it's too wet with product. And it's just, foundation does blend better with clean brushes. I hate to say it because cleaning brushes is not my thing, but it does. I feel like with the dirtier brush, it was just kind of like moving it around. Let me see. Yeah, this is better. I love both brushes though. I do put foundation on my forehead. I know some people don't. I am not in that number. I'm not in that number with them. Because I feel like the point of foundation is to serve as like a base for the entire face. And I need that base to go all the way around. I'm going to take a little bit of that foundation. And I'm going to be using the foundation, not a tinted moisturizer. Because the tinted moisturizer will slip and slide a bit more than the foundation for this next step I'm about to do. So I'm going to use this Morphe M410 flat brush. So I like to go over the top of my brows. I'm also using this shade instead of concealer because my concealers are lighter than my foundation shade. And what happens if you use concealer or lighter shades to do this part is you're going to get what's called a halo brow. So a halo brow is when you have too light makeup on top and below your brows and it doesn't blend in with the rest of your face. It's a stark contrast. You've seen it before. Yeah. Sorry to my fallen soldiers who have suffered it. Maybe you or a loved one has suffered from halo brow. You're not getting any compensation, but there's always a new day to do better. Alright. I'm just going to blend that away from the brow because I don't want to have too much product right there because then that's going to look weird. Boom. And I'm going a little bit under the brows, but this probably won't matter in about 10 minutes when I come to the eyeshadow. But I just like to give myself a good gauge for like what my brows look like. Boom. That's what they're going to look like. Time to go to our highlight and contour chiseling challenge. Here we go. I am moving away from my favorite concealer that y'all see all the time when I do my base. I still love it. I'm just out of it. Today we're going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. And this is in shade Cashew. I'm going to go underneath the eye and I'm going to go all the way out. Especially when I have my little top bun. I got my little ballerina bun going on today because it's wet. I love to go all the way out because I feel like it snatches my face. Now, what is the point of concealer? For some people, it does different things. It conceals blemishes, dark marks. It's not going to conceal texture, though. I think that is a misconception. People think that concealer is going to, like, blur out like texture. It's not gonna do that. Maybe with a heavy concealer and like a little bit of texture, it might, but it's not gonna do that. It will take away redness. It will cover up dark spots, especially if you use color correctors. I don't personally use color correctors because I don't have a lot of dark spots on my face, so I don't do that. I don't think it will make a big difference in my makeup routine. What we're doing is the foundation has created a very uniform, very plain base, right? What I mean plain is in our natural face we have highlights and contours. So you know, you have your jawline. If you look at your face in the mirror with no makeup on, you're going to see natural highlights and contours. When you put foundation on, we covered all of that up. So now what we're doing is we're adding the highlights, contours, and we're also emphasizing them through blush, concealer, and contour. So contour would be our shadows. So those would be the shadows of our face. That's where we're going to chisel. And then the concealer is the highlights. I'm going to use 2 concealers. You're going to see it's going to get even more highlighty, but that's why we use concealer. All right, I'm going to be taking this Real Techniques contour brush. I'm going to be setting that on out. Now, dirty concealer brush, that's just a best friend for me. Okay, I do not want a dirty concealer brush. I think I'm gonna have a video out maybe next week or the week after about how I clean my brushes. Of course, woo. I put a little bit on my forehead, not too much, just a little bit. Now, we are going to be adding this NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in Chantilly. I'm going to be adding this to the middle of my face. So, what is a highlight? What does that even mean? Where you put your highlights is where you want to draw attention to your face, right? So I'm going to put highlight in the center of my face. Some people put it on their forehead, on their chin. Not me. I don't do that. But that's why I want to draw attention to the center of my face. That's why I want the light to hit it, is in the center where I put the light shade. So that's why we put that there. I'm going to go in. I could go in with my same concealer brush from before. But when I get into these little crevices, I really like to use a smaller brush. And I'm going to be using the Morphe M173, which is my favorite small bluffing brush for this. All right. I'm going onto the nose a little bit. Oh no, I'll nose contour in a second. We're just gonna leave her alone. All right, now I'm gonna be using blush. Now, if you watch my most recent upload, which was Blush 101, then you already know this feel. And you can do this part with me. So, I'm going to be taking my cream blush, and this is the Milani Cheek Kiss and Coral Crush. And I am going to be taking this Morphe E48, which they might have discontinued. I don't know. This branding looks a little bit circa 2016. So if they did discontinue this, I'm sorry. Just use a dome brush that's densely packed like this. But you knew this if you watched my Blush 101 video. So let me not even bore you. I'm going to be going onto the apples of my cheeks and blending that on up. I'm going to put it on my forehead as well. I'm not really a pink blush girl, but I do like this one because it leans more coral. I talked about that on my blush video. But we're going to add an oranger blush on top of this to really pull in with the brown. Let me not spoil it. Let me not spoil it. I like to do my blush before my contour because I feel like if I do my contour first and my blush on top, it gets streaky and muddy and it just moves the contour. I don't like that. I am going to be taking this Morphe V108. And I'm going to be going into my Makeup Forever HD all... What is this called? Who are you? My Makeup Forever HD Skin all... Makeup names are so long. I just want to vent for a second. Makeup names are so long. It's always got me. Ever since a little girl, I'm like, Jesus, there's a lot of words. I'm going to be using this Makeup Forever HD Skin all-in-one palette. And I'm going to be using the contour shades in here. And I'm going to be starting back where my jawline is. Up here. And blending in circles. Also, my foundation at the bottom of my face is like cut off weird. There we go. I'm also going to blend into my forehead. So I'm going to blend. Some people do the 3 method. I almost do that. The 3 method is when you go 1, 2, 3. You draw 3. I don't like putting makeup like under here because I feel like it makes my collars dirty on my shirts. That's the 3 method. That's where I'm going to put the contour. Our creams. We're going to go on top of this, like I said, with blush and all types of things. But these are just our cream settings. And this is how we're going to like set the foundation before we tie in that brown. I cannot find my nose contour brush, which means that we are going to do a eyeshadow later. Now I'm going to be taking the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm going to set my under eye, my forehead, my cheeks, all of it. This is me shaking out the product because I ain't got none left for real. I got like a little bit in here and a little bit in here, so I have to like put it against the surface to get it out. Hello. All right, I'm gonna be taking my Anastasia. Glad I got that off my chest. I'm gonna be taking this my Anastasia Beverly Hills A22 brush, and I'm going to be going right under the eye. And usually I leave this part alone because I put highlight there, but this is a matte face with no highlight. Making my smile lines around my mouth. People always ask me, like, how do I get rid of smile lines? You don't. You don't. It's something you embrace. You put setting powder on there, but that's like the best. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can tell you to do. It's also how I feel about under eye creasing. It's like, I mean, setting powder, setting spray. That's all I got. Gotta do the best of what I got. Because texture is just like a part of your face. Now we're gonna do is we're gonna take that concealer brush from before. I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer on my eyes. Now y'all know when I do my eyeshadow tutorials, I prime my eyes way more carefully and with the white base. But because we're going to be using this brown eyeshadow for one, so we don't need our eyeshadow to be as bright as when I use like different colors. One, brown's gonna go perfectly on top of this cashew. And two, you don't have to be that precise because it's not a precise eyeshadow look. And we're gonna blend it into the eyebrows pretty much anyway, so we'll be okay. So I'm gonna be taking this brush that does not have a name, but it's from Beige Cosmetics. Let me see if I can find you something comparable. This is comparable. This is a Colourpop E2. Because I really feel bad when I come on here and I'm like, I'm gonna be using this brush and don't have a name, except for my Beige Cosmetics brush. This one that I use all the time, we've been locked in since middle school. I ain't turning my back on her. I don't care if she got a name or not. But Colourpop E2 is pretty comparable. I'm going to be using this brush. I'm pretty sure this is from BH Cosmetics as well, like one of their sets that they did a while ago. Okay, great. So I'm going to be going into our star of the day, which is going to be this Colourpop Matte Bronzer in Pacific Beach. And I'm going to, you know, get a good bit of that because bronzers are not like eyeshadow. Like, they're not as pigmented as eyeshadow because you were using it on the face. You don't want to use a brown eyeshadow the same way that you use a bronzer. So I get why they're formulated the way they are. But I'm gonna get a good swirl of that, and I'm gonna go right into the crease. Where is your crease? If you open your eyes, you know where it folds right there, that's your crease. However, everybody's crease looks different. Some people's crease doesn't look as noticeable as mine. So if you have that problem, you're like, I can't find where my crease is, just go halfway from where your brow is to where your lash line is. What's a lash line? Your lash line is where your eyelashes are. So from here to here, just go halfway. When I say crease, just go halfway. You'll be good. I'm going to go into the crease and just blend that on the outer part. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the inner part. And I'm going to connect the two. I'm going to connect the two. This is definitely one of my quicker makeup looks because I don't have to be precise. I don't want to say it's hard to mess up, but it's hard to mess up. Okay, wait. It's not that hard to mess up. I went a little bit out the bounds. Okay, let me just calm that down. I'm just taking that concealer brush and calming that down because that was too much. All right. I don't like it on my, like, too much on my inner corner. I feel like it just makes my face look different. But if you like it, you know, that's your thing. That's your testimony. I'm going to be blending, like I said, all the way up to the brow bone. Boom. Hold that dot. Hold that dot. Switching brushes. We're going to be taking the Colourpop E4, which is this flat brush. And you can tell I already been in here. Because, yeah. I did this look twice yesterday because I was invited to the TPH by Taraji and Boss Summit at Howard University. That's on my alma mater, fun fact. I don't go there anymore. But they had a fireside chat with Taraji. And I got to meet her. I put a picture in. It was great. I did this look yesterday because when I did it when I was in Texas recently, everybody on my story was really liking it. And they asked for this tutorial. So, I've done it a couple times now. I don't even know why I told you that. Why did I tell you that? Oh, well, I was telling you that I did the look twice. Because I did it once to go to the event. And then when I came back, I didn't record it the first time. So, I recorded it again. So, this brush has been through this bronzer. Alright. Boom. We're going to put it right on the lid. And in fact, you can even go a little bit above the lid if you would like. Because we're going to go back and blend. See, you thought because I said this is a easier, less precise eyeshadow look that you were just going to blend eyeshadow once. Never on my channel, ever will you just blend an eyeshadow once. Not even with my one eyeshadow tutorials. Speaking of, this is a one eyeshadow look. Practically. going back in and blending that out. My eyeshadow kind of is at an angle. It's not necessarily intentional, it just is. And we're blending, we're blending, we're blending, we're blending. You should never just place an eyeshadow once and think that you're never going to blend it again. I mean, that's just malpractice. I've been watching Suits. Can you tell? I just started it. Well, I'm on season 4, but I kind of have a job that allows me to run through shows while I edit. Very interesting. I'm also a Louis Lit apologist. We'll talk about that more on a live someday. I'm going to be taking this KVD, well, if I can open it, this KVD tattoo pencil liner in Trooper Black, and I'm going to go right into the waterline. See, this is very severe, okay? I have a waterline 101 video all about the colors in the waterline, how they make a difference, how to apply the waterline safely, all those things. This has a pretty thin pencil, so I'm just going to apply this right onto my eye, but go check that video out for more information. You can go along the eye. Okay, we went out the lines. That's okay, because we haven't blended our color onto the bottom lash line. And what color would that be? What color would that be? Pacific Beach. Pacific Beach. I'm going to be taking this LA Colors eye crease brush, which is kind of this small dome brush. And I'm going to be going back into our bronzer, and I'm going to go right underneath the eye. I'm going to try to make it kind of close to the eye. I don't want to go too far down, because that's gonna turn into another beast. Take my word for it. And this will kind of blend out that like smudge black thing I just did on accident. Like I always say, as you get closer to the waterline, you want to get deeper. And now, this is only one eyeshadow, so how are we going to get deeper? By packing more with a different brush. See, this brush and this brush are going to get different results. Because this is a flat brush. Flat brush is for packing their eyeshadow down. Dome brushes, not so much. It's for blending it out. So if you want to go for severe straight pack, use this flat brush. We're gonna go right into the lower lash line. Oh, like I said about the lash line earlier, there's an upper one. That's what I was referring to earlier. There's also a lower one. Wherever there's lashes, that's the lash line. Learn a little bit of anatomy, what can I say? All right, so I'm gonna go back in with that buffing brush from before. And I'm just gonna kind of like clean up my tear duct a little bit, because it's a little bit far down for my liking. And now I'm going to go in with that bronzer, just a light hand, because it does lean warm, and I don't want too warm of a nose contour. And I'm gonna be taking this Morphe M456. This is not the way that I usually contour my nose. If you see me contour my nose before and you're like, I've never seen this, yeah, because it's not the way that I usually contour my nose. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And what I'm gonna do is I just go down the nose. Okay, this might be a little bit too warm. I'm about to just pick this baby up right here because it has some neutral colors in it. This is a Gone matte palette. And practically any brown eyeshadow that you can live with being a contour is what you're going to use. Because I know it's different for some people. Some people like warm bronzers. Some people like cool bronzers. This is my nose. I just want to get it contoured. But I know that bronzer that we use on our eyes is too warm. So what I'm going to, okay. I'm going to be needing setting powder to blend this out, obviously. I'm just going to go down the nose. And I do a little V at the bottom. All right. I'm going to be taking this setting powder. And, you know, trying to undo some of that I just did. I'm going to be taking this Real Techniques square foundation brush. I'm going to go into that powder. You know, I'm just going to go on the edges. This is my Help Me, Save Me, I Need a Miracle when I go too far out with my nose contour. I actually prefer the look of the powder contour, like using eyeshadow and powders, to the cream nose contour. However, it's not the most sensible with my routine. And it's kind of like, not hit or miss, but yeah, it's not as like reliable as the cream contour. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for a second while we pray. Now I'm going to be going into blush. I'm going to be going to the Benefit Cosmetics blush in Sunny. It's a little orange. I'm using this Made by Mitchell MF3 brush. It's going to do a little bit of that. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. Very good. I'm going to be using the Benefit Cosmetics Their Real Magnet Mascara. And I'm going to be going into my top lashes, my bottom lashes. Nothing too special here, honestly. Except for the way I do my bottom lashes. Instead of dragging them down like this only, I give them a little horizontal wiggle. Separate them. Give them a chance. I feel like bottom lashes can really change what a look looks like. And so I try to, you know, make mine shine as much as they are capable of. Especially with a black waterline. Like, black waterlines are already so severe, and it just looks like an We'll fix that later. I'm not even going to pretend to be upset, because I'm not upset. We know how to fix it. We'll fix it later. I feel like this happened in a video before, and I'm like, we'll fix it later. No worries. Anyways, lower lashes look like an extension of the black waterline. And I love that. I really like this eyeshadow look. I feel like it brings out the color of my eyes. Alright, for lips. Whew. Oh, as far as the mascara that fell on my face, the key is to let it dry. So we're going to let it dry. We can't even address that until it's dry. Because if you try to do anything with it wet, it's going to make a bigger mess. You don't want to do that. There's a texture problem at that point. I'm going to be going with this Colourpop Super Shock Cheek and Happy Thoughts per usual. Look, we are on our last toenail. Forget a leg. We're on our last toenail. I love this product. I'm going to be going in with this small craft brush. This is a Simply Simmons 2 brush. I'm going to be going onto the tip of my nose. And I'm going to go right here down the bridge. You're going to leave that little space. This is the exclamation point. I'm no different in this area. I'm an exclamation point girl. And we're also going to the Cupid's bow. When I go into my Cupid's bow, I can even use my finger because it's a bigger space. So the heat of my finger also blends a little bit so it doesn't look so crazy. It doesn't give like milk mustache. Now we're going to go into the lips. I have a new lip combo, but I'm going to walk you through this one because this one's a little bit different. But if you want to see how I usually do my lips, I'll put it in the cards. I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery Bite Size Liquid Lipstick and Truffle Maker. And first we're going to line the lips. Just walk with me. Just walk with me. Okay, as you can see, I'm using the finer point of the applicator and I'm not adding too much. I'm going to be taking this. Who are you? There's no name. Okay, I'm going to be using this angle brush. It is a soft angle brush. And I'm going to just kind of blend. Boom. Now I'm going to be taking this Too Faced Empower Cream Lipstick and Buttercream. These are ones that smell like chocolate. I don't like the smell of chocolate, but if you do, then these smell like chocolate. I'm going to, because I've never eaten chocolate. Fun fact. We're learning so much about each other. I'm going to be going right into the center of the lip. I'm not going to add too much. I'm not going to add too much. Just a little bit. I'm going to also use my About Face Matte Fluid Eye Paint in On Point. Y'all know I love this for the lips. I'm going to put it right into the center of the lips. You don't have to be like me. You don't need this brush right here. You can really just go like this. But I just feel like it gets it like perfect when you use the brush a little bit. But you don't have to do that. Just go. You will need a brush for this next step, however. We're going back in with our E4 MVP brush of the game. I'm going to go in with this bronzer. Walk with me. Just walk. And I'm gonna go right under the brown, right over the pink. Yup. Lauren, you just use a bronzer as lipstick. Would you look at that? The FBI is not here to arrest me. Because it's not illegal. In fact, it's smart. It's genius. That, my friends, is how you get your lipstick to match your eyeshadow perfectly. That is how you get things to be seamless, is using the same products as before. I'm not going to add any bronzer on the cheeks. I haven't added any bronzer on the cheeks these last couple times, I don't think. I feel like that may be overkill. Not going to do that. But what I am going to do is, I'm going to do my inner corner liner. So I'm going to be taking the Benefit Cosmetics, Their Real Extreme Precision. I'm going to be taking the Benefit Cosmetics Their Real Extreme Precision Liner in Extra Black. I like this inner corner liner. I feel like it's probably the thinnest liquid felt liner that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into the inner corner and I'm going to make one line. Simple as that. I'm going to go from the inner corner to, you see how it's like connecting to where the waterline is? That's what's going to give the illusion of like, it's all one. It's not, but illusion. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go not to the tip of it, because if you go to the tip of it, it can get a little weird, a little wonky and chunky and all that. But just like when we do our wing liner on the outside of our eye, you don't go to the exact tip. You go a little bit lower than the tip. So I'm not going to go to the tip of it. I'm going to go a little bit behind that. And I'm going to draw a line up. So we have a triangle. I'm going to straighten out that line. And darken that. Boom. Boom. I'm going to do the other eye. Fun fact, I just learned how to do this recently. I could not do inner corner liner to save my life. I just learned how to do this recently. There's always something to learn, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes. Also like a cartoon villain. A real life villain when I have these. I love it. The dark waterline and the inner corner together just makes you feel like... Alright, I'm going to go in with that waterline pencil that we used earlier from KVD, and I'm just going to make sure that that black is on that tear duct. Like I said, it's all about the illusion. Just so that there's no breakup of pink tear duct. Okay, wait, I gotta show you how we get this off of our face. Now, you could use a makeup wipe. What's gonna happen is it's gonna wipe off that top layer and every layer underneath it. We don't have time for that. Okay, that worked perfectly. I'm gonna just take a little setting powder, and this is an angle brush, so it's a little bit stiff, so it has a little bit of oomph to it. And I'm just gonna go over this. That's step number 1. That way I don't have to wipe off my concealer, my eyeshadow, and all that. Alright. It's so minuscule at this point, you know what I'm going to do? You guessed it. It's now a beauty mark. Okay? That's how simple we're going to do that. Because I feel like if I add concealer on top, and then I feel like if I add concealer on top, then setting powder on top, it's going to be like rough. Because it's not going to blend it with the other sections. If I just add setting powder around it, well, I use setting powder to scrape it off, and then I put setting powder around it. And that's why you have to wait for it to dry, because we would have tried putting setting powder on top of it before. Come on now. I'm just going to add the rest of my beauty marks. You know what's funny? I didn't used to do these, or believe in them. Maxie actually put me onto these. I used to do the one on my inner corner on this side, so now I'm just flipping the way that I do them. They look random, but they're not. Alright, so now I'm going to put on my lashes and wipe off this nose contour, and I will see you in the finished look. If you want to know how I apply my lashes, I have a video for that. I have a video for everything. You know, that was always my goal, to like have a resource, like have a video for everything that somebody asks me makeup, because I really take this educational teaching stuff serious. For real. Anyways, it'll show up in the cards. I'll see you in a second. All right, so here is the final look. I added some lashes from my desk. Y'all always, like on Instagram, when I don't list my lashes, everybody's like, what lashes are those? And it's because I honestly cannot tell you. You know, after you wear it like a couple times, they all kind of look like just lashes on the desk. These are some lashes from off the desk. If I had to guess, I would say that they are the Kiss Lash Drip and You Do You. If I had to guess. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, please give it a like. If you tried this look out, you want to try this look out, let me know in the comments below, or tag me on my socials at Raggedy Royal on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, where I do way more looks. I show you more of my life. I think my video on meeting Taraji and going to the fireside chat and just hanging out with the TPH by Taraji team will be up on my TikTok. I do a whole bucket list series where I try different activities, foods, cuisines, things like jumping out of window, but also like trying new Chick-fil-A spinoffs. It's great. So follow me on TikTok for that. And also, please make sure to subscribe. We are almost at 40,000 subscribers, less than 500 subscribers away. Thank you so much for all the love so far. I'm loving this 2 upload a week thing. I think I'm gonna keep it going. So, you know, let me know. But I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. Till next time. Bye.